Gintama, an anime where mayonnaise land, a penguin blowing up a spaceship, and a guy shoving a sword up his ass. Makes sense.
So, Gintama is an anime I got recommended to by this YouTuber here called The Manga Viewer, and during that conversation I thought, hey, that anime sounds pretty good, but then 15 minutes later I forgot the entire conversation and never ended up watching it. Eventually, a little while later, I did check out the anime and thought, wow, that's pretty decent. So far, I've watched about like 70 to 80 episodes, and also I found that at this point, lots of people tend to drop the anime because it's too long. Look at how long One Piece is and people haven't dropped that. In Gintama, we follow the main character called Gintoki, and he's a proud wielder of a wooden sword that can somehow break spaceships apart. He's also a strawberry milk enjoyer, unfortunately not like me, and he's also the founder of this business called Odd Jobs Gin. Some of the other characters we follow include Kagura, who's basically an overly violent 6-year-old with a machine gun and can somehow get shot twice and not die. And then we have Shinpachi, a samurai kid who's basically in love with this one idol. In other words, he's just an otaku.
Now in Gintama there are a lot of characters, firstly, 1 second, who are in the series, who make the series basically a lot more funny, including characters such as the old lady who wants Ren, and the guy who really loves mayonnaise, who's the leader of the police force, and also that one guy who's a homeless bum, but he's still a pretty good character because he also has sunglasses.
So, one of the many reasons why I love Gintama is obviously how cool the story arcs are. Like, for example, one of my favourite arcs is the Shinsengumi Crisis arc, where basically the Shinsengumi goes through basically like a civil war, it breaks in half basically between members who support this blonde dude and then also Hijikata, who basically becomes a fucking weeb because the demonic sword cursed him, and basically Odd Jobs has basically got to save the Shinsengumi from being overtaken by this other dude. It's a really cool arc. Now, also just a quick disclaimer about the anime. Most of the jokes are very niche to early 2000s Japan, and just like sometimes the jokes in their usual form can't exactly be translated to English that well, so there are some jokes that none of us will be able to get unless you speak Japanese. Like, the way this anime can be action-packed, goofy as hell, and also have a heartwarming story shows that the creator really is a really good, you know, storyteller, and also really great at doing manga. This anime is also brilliant at parodying games, other anime, TV shows, and just general things in, you know, Japanese life. One of my favorite episodes is basically on Earth they ban smoking pretty much, so Hijikata wants to smoke a cigarette and he can't smoke it anywhere because basically, well, he tried to smoke a cigarette and the bin exploded. So he goes to another planet that is known for their tobacco, and turns out the planet's being destroyed. He does the logical thing of going to fight Breezer, sorry, and then he fights Breezer and then Cell, and then to get these icky gooey balls to make a wish from Shenron. But it turns out Grillin dies, so they have to revive him. Also, I love how, you know, stupid and self-aware humor gets in this anime, because it's just so ridiculous. But, for example, the comedy arcs, there's like every episode, there's basically like a regular show episode, and like, it's just so ridiculous and so funny. Anyways, that's enough of me talking about Gintama. Let's see what the manga viewer says about Gintama.
皆さん、こんにちは。坂田銀時です。よろしくお願いします。So I remember talking with my friend Speedy Boy and convincing him to watch Gintama, and he told me, well, I'm gonna give it a try. Flashback forward about a month or two later, and he's watching Gintama and really enjoying it. So today I'm gonna be convincing you as well why you should watch Gintama and why I think, in my opinion, it's the best anime that was ever made. Hear me out. Gintama is one of those animes that when you watch, you should put any other anime you have watched before and watch it as a new anime, because it's really unpredictable. You could be watching a random-ass arc of the main character, Sakata Gintoki, sticking a sword like in someone's ass and be like, oh, what the fuck does that have to do, when at the end of the arc you see it like turning into this emotional, big, sort of like, interesting life lesson. And that's the cool thing about it. Even like with Hideaki Sorachi, the author of Gintama, he basically doesn't like name his chapters like chapter 1, he says like lesson 1, lesson 2, because it's basically some life lessons. I kid you not, Gintama have definitely changed my life 180 degrees. It teaches me how to basically think about the things that are important and protect them and fight for them, and the things that are not important, you shouldn't be overthinking about them and, you know, over crying about them. The cool thing about it that I really like is that it's built to the ground, like the world building, to the characters, to the stories, to the main character character himself and like his strength and stuff. Usually like when you're watching an anime or something, you can like look at the main character and you're like, oh, I can't shoot like a Kamehameha or, you know, to release a Bankai. But like in Gintoki's case, he's just wielding a wooden sword and he just knows how to fight, and that's basically it. And he's kind of like a street fighter. He's not even like a professional sword wielder. And I really like how it blends the comedy with the action, with the romantic, with everything. Gintama is an anime that has everything in it. Also, for the people who says like Gintama gets good after episode 50 or 58, starting with the Benizaka arc, I'll tell you no, it's not. The cool thing is, and like I'll tell you why, because Gintama blends everything and connects everything from like the lesson 1, from the start of the beginning. You get introduced to this samurai who literally doesn't give an F about anything, and he just like struggles with paying his rent, and you flash forward to him, you know, holding responsibilities for other people and risking his own life for them. I really like how it's kind of like starts on this kind of like comedy sort of style from the beginning of the episode, from the first chapters of the manga itself. It literally shows you the action, it literally shows you the sadness, the happiness, everything. And believe me or not, if you're basically saying, oh my god, I can't wait for the next serious arc to begin, there will be like a time when you'll be like, holy shit, Hideaki Sorchi, please get back to the comedy arcs, because the story is so fucking dwelling and it's so fucking in depth. You could literally binge like 20 episodes straight ahead when you are so much invested into the characters. Every character has his own weaknesses. I really like how Hideaki Sorchi shows that Gintoki is a human. He's not like perfect anime character. He picks his nose, he's lazy, he doesn't want to pay his rent. But when it comes to the important things of whether like his friends are struggling or hurting, whether he's like having a serious moment, his personality turns 180 degrees. One of the main thing that Hideaki Sorchi have stated in his manga and in his interviews, one of the interviews asked him like, what does Gintoki represent if a main character? He says, well, I see all the main characters kind of like trying to become something successful and they have a goal, but unlike Gintoki, he doesn't have a goal. The manga is made for the people who still doesn't have a goal, which is fine. You don't have to find a goal immediately in your life and rush for it. You can search for your own goal, become your own way of a samurai. I really like that sort of thing that goes back and forth in those life lessons. So I highly recommend you watching Gintama. 10 out of 10, best manga and best anime I have ever watched. I'm definitely gonna buy the 73 volumes. I'm kind of like stocking in one by one on them. Also, Gintoki being voiced by Tomokazu Sugita-san, which is basically the CEO of Gintoki. The best thing ever, because, you know, Sugita is basically Gintoki. They are basically the same character. Thank you again, Speedy Boy, for having me on the channel. I'm really glad that you like Gintama so far, and I really hope you continue watching it till the end and get the meaning of what I mean. And I hope you guys keep watching Speedy Boy, because he's one of my favorite anime YouTubers. So make sure to subscribe to his channel and like this video. And if you enjoy and, you know, you liked my sexy voice, my sexy Sakurai voice, you can visit my channel and, you know, check out my content or follow me on Twitter. Matane.
Gintama is a really great comedy anime with lots of fun, toilet jokes, very great action, and very heartwarming parts. Now, one of the many great things about Gintama is also its fight scenes. So make sure to click this video here where me, the manga viewer Coolan, and Ranum all talk about our favourite fight scenes in anime.